Hey everyone, well today is Tuesday, September 10th, and tonight's homework is on 1.7, add and subtract decimals through the thousandths. So you were learning the estimating. Actually it was a reteach, so you didn't really have to learn something new, but it was something that you brought up from 4th grade. And so this is also going to be a review that you've had before on adding and subtracting decimals. So you were doing all the odd ones, and so I made some copies, so I really want you, if you're not using grid paper, and if you're using notebook paper, then go ahead and spread those numbers out so that you'll be able to see it. So for the first question on number 1, I have $13, well, I'll say 13 and 87/100ths, plus, and now you have to line up your decimals when you're adding or subtracting. So I'm going to place my decimal there first, and then I'm going to add, the next one has a 0 right next to the decimal. So I'm going to place those numbers here first, and then I can have my 6 that's in the ones place that, I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with my, there we go. So I have the 6 in the ones place that's right next to that decimal, and then I will place it here. Now I can add up. Again, I'm going to bring down my decimal. It's always going to stay in that place. So once I have that one, I'm going to start just like I was adding. Now I can look like the decimals don't exist because I've already placed them where they need to. So 7 plus 6 is 13. Carry my 1. 8 plus 0 is 8 plus 1 is 9. 6 plus 3 is 9. And bring down my 1. And so my answer here is then going to be 19 and 93/100ths. And we're doing all odds. So I'm going to place my, if you're doing your work on the side, that's great. Just make sure you leave yourself plenty of room. Don't squish those numbers up. I'm going to go to number 2. And on number 2, again, my decimals are lined up. So I have 2 and 50/100ths. I'm going to place my decimal here, and I want you to take a look, because this is what is messing up kids on their thinking when they're adding them up. I want you to place your decimal here. I want you to look to the right of your decimal. So you have a 9. So I'm going to match that up right here. To the right of my decimal is a 9, and next to the 9/10ths is a 200ths, and next to the 200ths is a 6,000ths. Now, I don't have anything to the left of my decimal, so I have 0 because that's what I've got there. Now, look at this here. There's nothing there, but I'm going to place 0 as my hero because we've talked about that. You can hold the 0 will hold its place without changing the value of the number. So I can now add them. 0 plus 6 is 6. 0 plus 2 is 2. 5 plus 9 is, what is that? 14. Because I'll take 1 out of that. That's 10 and 4 left. Regroup. Carry my 1. 2 plus 0 is 2. Plus 1 equals 3. And what I should have done, so I never forget, and that's to bring down my decimal before adding, so I never forget that. And so my answer here is then going to be 3 and 426,000ths. And that's going to go into my answer here. Please make sure your homework is done so that when you come through and see the video, you can now check your work and then find out what mistakes you made. Let's do number 5 is the next one. And again, if I'm looking at number 5, line up all my decimals and then place my numbers there. So I have only the ones that's there, so I'm going to make sure I have the ones column, decimal, decimal, decimal. The first one is 6 and 27/100ths. The next one I have 0 ones. Let's see if you can see that right here where I have 0 ones. And then next to the decimal, I have my 1/10ths, my 3/100ths, and then my 3,000ths. And then after that, I have the 4 and 31 hundredths, and I'm going to put 0 as my hero. I will add those up. 3 plus 0 is 0 is 3. I have 10 plus 1 is 11. Regroup by carrying my 1. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to bring down my decimal, and that makes it 10. So my answer is 10 and 713 thousandths. Okay, and you should have shown all your work as we went through there. All right, we're going to do the same thing on finding the sum or the difference. Here's the sum. Again, you're going to line up all your decimals, and the answer to that one is 23 and 779 thousandths. And so I have number 7. I'm going to line all of those up. So just to show you, here's my decimal, 389 thousandths. Place my decimal here. To the left of the decimal, I had 17. To the right of the decimal was 39 hundredths, and I'm going to put a 0 here as my hero. I'm adding those all up, so I don't have to worry about which is the largest one because I'm adding them. So then I have my 9, I have my, what do I have here? My 17, I lost track, sorry. That's 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. Bring down my decimal, my 13, and then I carry my 1 and 20, and that is my 23, 779 thousandths. Number 9, again, I'm going to line up my decimals. So I'm going to have my 2 and 9 hundredths. Okay, now I want you to take a look at what we've got here. Lining up my decimal. So I'm going to put my decimal here so I can make sure I put everything in the correct spot. This is 639 thousandths. 0 is my hero. To the right of it, I have 12. That is 2 in the ones place, and 1 is in the tens place. And now I'm going to add it. I'm going to put a 0 here as my hero so that I know that there's nothing there. So 0 plus 9 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. That's 9. Take 1 away to make that a 10 and 2 left over. Carry my 1. 6 plus 1 is 7. Bring down my decimal. 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 plus 0 is 1. And so my answer is 14 and 729 thousandths. Oops, wrong spot. Okay, I do have a little bit of an eraser left. The answer is correct. I just put it in the wrong location. All right, let's take a look at number 11. Number 11 is we're looking for the pattern, and you've been doing patterns since, oh my gosh, you were tiny humans. And so I have to look at the first one. I have 5 and 3 hundredths. Then the second one is 5 holes. The next one is 4 and 97 hundredths. The next one is 4 and 94 hundredths. What am I doing here? Yeah, I'm taking 3 away. So if I came through and I'm going to do my pop-up, and I kept taking, but not just 3 hundredths away, does that make sense? I'm subtracting. If I took 5 holes and I subtracted 3 hundredths, does that give me 4 and 97 hundredths? Yep. If from here to here I subtract my 3 hundredths, does that give me 4 and 94? Yes, it is. So I'm going to continue on. So here I start with 5 and 3 hundredths and subtract 3 hundredths. Okay, and that's what it is. You're looking for the pattern. All right, now this is fun. So if you like different types of riddles, you'll really like this one. It says that the sum of 2 numbers, sum is the answer to an addition problem. So this is already the answer. Of 2 numbers equals 5 and 36 hundredths. So this is my answer. It says one number has 4 in the tens place and 7 in the thousandths place. The other number has 1 in the ones place and 2 in the hundredths place. What are the two numbers? All right, so what I'm going to do is I already know the answer. So this is number 13. I already know this is going to be a plus. I already know the answer. So my answer is, put my decimal here, 5 and 36 thousandths. Okay, and I think I said 3,600, but it's 5 and 36 thousandths. Now let's look at one of the numbers. It said that one number has 4 in the tens place. So I'm going to find my tens place and put my 4 there. Then it says that it has 7 in the thousandths place. Did you see that? 4 in the tens place. I placed it there. It says 7 in the thousandths place. I'm going to put it here. Then it says the other number has 1 in the ones place. So I'm going to come to this other mysterious number, and I'm going to put 1 in the ones place. Then it says there is a 2 right here, 2 in the hundredths place. So I'm going to the hundredths place and place a 2. Now I need to find out, what are my numbers? Well, this is the way I do it. 7 plus what? Because I know I have to end up carrying it over, because I would have to add it to get what would be an answer for a 6. So it'd be 16. So 7 plus what equals 16? Good, 9. 9 plus 7 equals 16. I regroup, carry my 1. What could this number be where I have something plus 2 plus 1? Well, 2 plus 1 is already 3, so what's going to go in here? Yeah, it's a 0, because 1 plus 2 equals 3, and that's all you can add. Now I'm coming over here to this next one. 4 plus what? We'll end up with 0 in a ones place, and then I would have to carry over. Yeah, so it'll be a 6, because 4 plus 6 equals 10. So I'm going to carry over my 1, and then I have to come up with a 5. So it's a 1 plus 1 is 2. So this must be a 3, because 3, 4, and 5. So my one number then would be 3 and 407 thousandths, and the next one is going to be 1 and 629 thousandths. That was a fun game. Maybe I should create a station for that, because I think that would be really great practice on place values. So we have here, it's 3 and 407 thousandths for one number, and the second number is 1 and 629 thousandths. All right, that was fun. Let's move on to the next one, because we are almost done with the homework for tonight. And so I'm looking at Ling's relay team. Oops, where are we? Ran the first part of his race in 28 and 134 thousandths seconds. The second, so this is the race, second part was in 17 and 922 thousandths seconds. And the third part was 34 and 23 thousandths seconds. By how much did the relay team beat the champions, who ran a total of 83 and 736 thousandths seconds? And so, in order to find that, I need to write down my facts. I know that first place, because I need, who ran, what was the difference? First place, second, or the second part, I should put the word part, 17,922 thousandths, and then the third part, okay, so looking at my answer choices, I know that I'm going to have to add up all of these, so my solution is to